one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Cashing in, say, the way Liv did, well, that's like winning the lottery, isn't it? And I don't need to win the lottery because I work my ass off every week for a paycheck.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa. Boss forever like they decided to throw me under slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Don't let the minutia of people distract us. This is the last year in the NAL. Next year we going to the AFL. A lot of owners around here got this type of money to even be in this league, so let's get that clear. A lot of naysayers around here, I've been seeing a lot of players chip chat about me. You think I care what the NAL players say about me?
Yo, how's everybody doing out there today, yo? Welcome to Kicking It with Saint. You see, I stopped saying welcome back because it might be somebody's first time, yo. Listen, trying to get to like 20 subscribers. We at 17, trying to get to 20 now. All right, now we trying to push to 20. We got 17. Can we get to 20 before the end of next month? You know what I'm saying? Help me get to 20. I appreciate that. I really would. The small climb. You know what I'm saying? One day we're going to be trying to get to 100, but right now we're trying to get to 20. But listen, I hope everybody had a dope day, great day. If you didn't, it's still time left in the day, and you still got tomorrow, bro. Cheer up, perk up a little bit. Listen, I thought I was coming to you to talk to you about UFC 291, but then I watched a video on YouTube of the show Speak. And I got very irritated. So that's what we actually gonna talk about instead. I hope everybody out there is having a great night though. But I want to talk about Johnathan Taylor requested a trade from the Indianapolis Colts, however you pronounce it, however you choose to pronounce it. But he requested a trade. It was reported that he had a meeting. He had a meeting with Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts. After the meeting, he came out and wanted a trade. Jim Irsay, I need to pull up that Jim Irsay quote. Jim Irsay released I don't even know how to really describe the quote that Jim Irsay released. That's how brain dead it. I mean, not brain dead. That's how mind numbing it was to me. Like, I didn't really understand I get the point of his statement was running backs come and go, bruh. We can replace you. But I don't understand why he didn't just say that instead of saying all the nonsense that he said. If I die today and all this other nonsense. But nonetheless, I could care less about this. I want to talk about this running back issue. And I done talked about this running back issue before. And I'm not blind to the fact that to the media, the running back position is not important anymore. I'm not even, blind to the fact that running backs don't play as huge a role in today's NFL as they used to play back in the day. That's what I want to say, because to continuously say running backs don't have the same value is just it's not even a bad statement. It's just not an accurate statement, to be completely honest with you. And that's this conversation of how do you measure success? Because obviously for a team in the NFL and the NBA and soccer and the MLB, the ultimate goal is to win a championship. We understand that. But when you understand that only one team can have that type of success a season, that's when they have to come to, okay, how do we measure success as far as everything else? Because it cannot be, if we didn't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure. I understand certain teams have that expectation. It's Super Bowl or bust. I get that. But to say everything else throughout a season was a failure is ridiculous. I understand having a failure. The New York Mets right now, I would consider this season a failure because of what the expectations going in were. The Padres, if they don't make the playoffs, the Phillies, if they fail to make the playoffs or don't win when they get in. That's clearly, I understand that. But the Dodgers' goal every year is to win a championship. It's not that the Dodgers got some stacked roster. They went out and bought all this talent. So for me to say that the Dodgers losing a World Series and not making it there at the end of the season, yeah, clearly we didn't reach the goal we wanted. But our ultimate goal going into the season may have been winning the championship. But this roster was not all right, we bought all these pieces to win now. That's not the same thing. It's a process to winning. You don't win every year. Only one team can win a year, a season. That's how this thing goes. You don't get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners. And so how do you measure success? Now, to say running backs don't play a role in having success anymore is foolish. Pacheco was phenomenal for the Chiefs last year. Did he carry the Chiefs? Was he the sole reason the Chiefs were as good as? No. Clearly, back in the day when running backs were the end all be all to if you could win a champion, that's not how it is today. It's evolved. It's changed. But for us to sit here and say running backs have no value is foolish, which is why I said, how do you measure success? Because I haven't thought the Titans were a championship team at no point in time in the last decade. But they done overachieved because of Derrick Henry. I watched the Vikings overachieve because of Adrian Peterson. I watched the Giants overachieve because of Tiki Barber helping out. Eli wasn't just doing that by himself. I watched the Giants overachieve because of Saquon Barkley. I saw the start the Jets had last year because of a great running game. You can't tell me that the value of a running back has been decreased. What you can tell me is, depending on the team, maybe a running back don't play as big a part to that team. But to say that the running backs no longer have the value is ridiculous. Do they mean as much as they did back in the day? No, because you don't win championships as of late through the running game. But running is a huge part of being successful in the NFL. How do you have to be able to run a clock out when you have a lead. You don't want to keep throwing the ball when you take a big lead. You want to be able to run the clock out. Josh Allen and the Bills could use a great run game. The Chiefs have benefited when their run game have been great. The Ravens have survived over the last couple years because of Lamar Jackson and his feet, because they don't give them weapons. Running. The Cowboys, when they were successful, running with Zeke. Even when they got back on the horse last year, they had a great 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke. To say running, Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings. Like, just because the media seem to devalue running backs now, just because certain teams and organizations seem to devalue running backs, this myth that a rookie running back or some off the street running back can come in and just replace these great running backs is a lie. I remember when Le'Veon Bell sat out that season, and I understand Le'Veon came out and said a lot of things about how he regret doing what he did and whatnot. James Conner had a decent season that year. James Conner was never at no point in time in his career anywhere near as good as Le'Veon Bell. And because teams like to not spend on the running back position, he was boosted into a starting running back position. James Conner ain't a starting running back for most teams, for not a championship team. I saw the difference that a running game made for the 49ers last year. I saw the difference it made for a championship Patriots teams. I saw the difference it made for a championship Seattle team. I saw the difference it made for those Panthers teams back in the day when they had to rely so heavily on the running game, which wasn't too long ago. So to say what's baffling to me is you can separate the quarterbacks and their value, but you can't do it for the running backs. Because I'm not here arguing that every single running back deserved to be paid, or for one, I don't argue deserve, not deserve. I'm not here arguing that every running back should be paid a crazy absorbent amount of money. But I'm also here to tell you to say, oh, Zeke didn't have success after he got paid, so nobody else should get. That's ridiculous. The running backs that have come into the league the last couple years have not been as successful as the dudes who are established. Johnathan Taylor got every right to want to get paid. Now, my problem with this show Speak is when Emmanuel Achos, a dude who never had success in the NFL, but continuously talk like he did, a guy who, I'm going to just be honest with you, the only reason he get in these spots is the way he sound, because of how he articulate himself. White people are fans of that shit. But to be honest, if you just listen, if you can get past how well articulated he sound, it's a bunch of BS coming out of this man's mouth. How can you say your problem with Johnathan Taylor is when he decided to ask for more money? For one, Emmanuel Achos just constantly got some of the absolute goofball takes I've ever seen, bruh, or heard. I'm baffled that he continued to be on TV. But aside from that, he talked like a dude who never been great in the NFL. Because what are you talking about? Your problem is when. For one, you speak like you got your head so far up and on his ass. A great player, no. Whenever I feel it's time for me to capitalize, that's when it's time. Great players can do that. And this notion that you got to be great every single season. Y'all know how I talk about it. I am stunned that guys can be great for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years. That's crazy. When you really sit down and look at the competition they got to go against, the expectations that's put on them every year, the fact that dudes can just be great every year. And when they have a little bit of falling, people, oh, that's the end. That's the end. Johnathan Taylor still ran for 1,000 yards last year. Would have been more if he had a better offensive line. Would have been more if he had a better offense. Would have been more if he had a better coach. Would have been more if he had a better quarterback. Would have been more if he had a better defense. But for some reason, that's all on Johnathan Taylor. What he couldn't do is all on him. But every time a quarterback don't have success, it's on everybody else. Carson Wentz proved he was bad multiple times. He still got paid twice and picked up by multiple teams. Jared Goff, I like Jared Goff. He's not a great quarterback. He got paid. It's quarterbacks who clearly need the head coach in their schemes. Y'all still overrate them. Y'all still hope they get paid. They still get paid. I don't hear nobody bitching about when they get paid. But Johnathan Taylor, the whole offense for the Colts, I dare you to name me one Colts receiver right now that's lined up for them last year and will line up for them this year without looking at the roster. Because I know some of the receivers, but I bet you don't know their receivers. You couldn't name their tight end, but you can name Johnathan Taylor. Nobody is out here arguing that every single running back should be paid crazy money. But the fact that the Colts can go into a season, Jim Irsay can already go into a season knowing that I'm franchise tagging this dude regardless of what he does. How ignorant is that? Imagine that you were in this situation, that no matter how great you could possibly be for a gig, yeah, we already know what we finna pay you. It don't matter how good you done been in the past, how good you could be, We know we franchise tagging you right now. We know we're going to lowball you off the rip. Don't care how good you perform. We are going to lowball you. And then to think about the fact that they can run a running back the way they do, it's not smart for a running back to sit out, and then they can be franchise tagged. It's why I will continue to argue this every single time I speak on this subject. The NFLPA is trash. The fact that they can argue and dispute and want to go to lockouts for days off in practices and shit like that, but not to get franchise tags taken out, that's crazy. Franchise tags is something that you should be fighting tooth and nail to have taken out of the NFL. That shit shouldn't be in no sport. You should not be able to forcibly keep a player in a situation they don't want to be in. And y'all keep talking to me about these fucking contracts. Oh, it's contract. Teams break contracts every day, but you never care about it. You never speak about it. You never bring it up. You never hold them accountable for it. So I don't want to hear it when a player do it. This dick sucking of the machine is ridiculous. Continuously greasing the gears of the machine is ridiculous. And constantly laughing and belittling the people who are building the machine, who are the only reasons the machine is running. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like knowing that this house is running off of this fucking guinea pig running around this wheel, but you constantly berating the guinea pig. Oh, you're just running too slow. Well, motherfucker, you hop on here and do it, since it's so easy. Because that's what it's starting to look like. It's so easy to be a running back in the NFL. So anybody should be able to do it. So why do the stats not support it? Because rookie running backs have not been better than the vet running backs. Name a rookie running back that's done come in the last couple years and been better than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry wasn't Derrick Henry in his rookie years. Name the last running back that came in and immediately contributed to success, to winning. I can name one. Ezekiel Elliott. Now name one after. The Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't turn out. J.K. Dobbins always hurt. But sure. The Falcons just drafted Bijan Robinson. We'll see how he do this year. But this notion that you could just replace the great running backs that play such a vital role for teams. And that's what I really don't understand. The Dalvin Cooks, the eight, like, bro, it's dudes who actually play huge roles on their teams. We're not talking about the J.K. Dobbins of the world. We're not talking about the Panthers running back or the running back for the Dolphins. We're talking about teams with running backs who carry the effing load. Here's something that you don't want to hear. Travis Etienne is one of them dudes for the Jags. I love Trevor Lawrence. He would not be able to do what he done if not for the fact the running game, how great the running game. And to be honest with you, if not for the fact that Buddy was a terrible head coach his first year, Urban Meyer, they could have lived through the running game that year too. Because the best parts of their offense in Trevor Lawrence's rookie year was the run game. What I'm here to say is I done even been a criminal, a crook, one of the bad guys in this situation, and falsely misrepresenting running backs, saying that they are not the same and blah blah and all this nonsense. It's horse shit. That's why I couldn't even get it all out. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm disappointed. Running backs are as vital and as important as any position. They touch the ball the third most than any other team person on the field. Shout out to Joy Taylor for that stat. Quarterback, center, running back. You wouldn't want your child to play running back because of the hits they take. But sure, the great ones don't deserve to be paid. That's insane. I couldn't imagine trying to argue Marshawn Lynch not getting paid, or Adrian Peterson not being paid, or a Johnathan Taylor. And have Johnathan Taylor put together the career that those guys have? No, but he also haven't had For one, hey, Johnathan Taylor, bro, shout out to you because you better than me. Because I was finna talk about all the things you haven't had. But let me talk about this trash-ass offensive line that you had to deal with for the last 2 years. Let me talk about the trash-ass quarterback situation you had to deal with the last couple years. Equivalent to what Adrian Peterson had to deal with Christian Ponder and all the makeshifts they had back there. It's crazy when you know a running back gonna run the ball and they still dominate a game like Adrian Peterson and Johnathan Taylor and Derrick Henry and I can't even remember Alvin Kamara's and the guys of the world like that. It's crazy. The Saints, oh my God, where would they be without Alvin Kamara those years when Drew Brees was on the back end and Alvin Kamara was just catching dink and dunk after dink and dunk, man. It's crazy. Where would those running backs who participated in the dink and dunk Olympics over there in New England for all them years, where would they be without those dudes? And I'm going to tell you what's so funny to me. I would never argue Christian McCaffrey's value because I love Christian McCaffrey. But for a dude who I never hear y'all come out and say he don't deserve his contract when he didn't even play most of the years after he got that contract, never gave Cam Newton what Cam Newton needed as far as a side guy because he wasn't great in his rookie year either. Now, shout out to my boy Christian McCaffrey. I love Christian. But it's just wild to me how y'all see how people decide to view certain guys, because these are top tier running backs. These ain't just like regular running backs. These are top running backs that carry over 50% of the load for their teams. Derrick Henry probably at 90% carry capacity for what he doing for Tennessee over the last couple years. Johnathan Taylor over the last year has been the offense for the Colts also. I mean, at least Derrick Henry can say they had A.J. Brown over there for a couple years. Bro, Johnathan Taylor ain't had a top-tier receiver over there, and I bet you're still thinking about them receivers. But he ain't had no top guy over there with him in God knows how long. So, listen, this notion that running backs shouldn't be paid, the top guy shouldn't be, it's insane. And I think it's so crazy when you hear human beings say some of this insanely ignorant shit. It's like, it make you question, like, bro, I already know if they were in the same situation, they wouldn't feel this way. But how is it that they are so comfortable with not being able to have to put themselves in these situations to where they feel these ignorant thoughts? How is it so easy for them to say, well, they get paid millions of dollars and that's the end of it? No more critical thinking have to be done. That's his basis of it. You get paid enough. You should be happy. Shut up and be happy because you get paid more than me. It's crazy that we live in a world where that's the case. But back to Emmanuel Achos, goofy ass. I'm telling you, bro, the dude just speak like he was a bum. No great player that still isn't, because you do got those great players who sell out to the media once they get into the media, but no great player who truly know what it's like to be great would ever say that goofy shit. I got a problem with when he decided to do it. What are you talking about? Great players will always be able to decide when they want to be paid. That's how it will always work. Even a great running back. Now, will he get $16 million a year that's reported he won't? Probably not. I don't think that's too much for him, to be personally honest with you, because when you look at what Daniel Jones get paid and the fact that he don't do for his team what Johnathan Taylor do for his team. See, this is why I'm starting to get irritated with y'all. Y'all keep saying, oh, he a quarterback. I don't give a fuck if he a quarterback. I care about production. And as far as I'm concerned, Daniel Jones' production for his team as far as contributing to winning, his production that contributes to winning is in no shape, form, or fashion does it outweigh Johnathan Taylor's production to winning for the Colts. But one of them got paid and the other one didn't. One of them, y'all cool with getting paid. The other one, you think is asking for too much. This is what I'm saying. And then people say, oh, you know, it's the business. Bro, the NFL bring in billions of dollars a year, bro. I'm not trying to hear none of that. But it's an interesting conversation, man. Not to me, really. I already know how I feel about the conversation. But just to end this, I just want to say, man, Emmanuel Acho, bro, I just can't wait till they take your ass off TV, bro. Like, I don't wish downfalls on nobody, because I hate for people. Well, I really could care less of people wishing that on me. But, I'm a nice person, so I really don't want people just out there hoping I fail and stuff like that. But, man, I hope you fail, Emmanuel, man. Like, because I'm getting real. Well, you can't fail. You already done made life-changing money. And I'm happy that you done that. So you don't got to struggle. But I can't wait till they take your goofy ass off TV, bruh. I can't wait. I cannot remember the last time I seen this crazy combination of coonism, ignorance, bumism. Like, it's just so crazy. Stupidity. Like, it's so crazy. And the only reason people listen to you is because of how you articulate yourself, which is one of the most ignorant things. I took a lot of English classes, critical thinking classes, and a bunch of classes that basically tell you how to talk, how to put together sentences, and how to, different like type things, right? And I know it's a lot of people out there in that type of world that love people who articulate themselves in a certain type of way, especially when you a white person who say, man, I'm so used to black people talking like this. It's so refreshing when I hear a black man talk like this. And really that's racist as hell, because you're saying I want black people to sound more like white people, and you don't appreciate black people for their authenticity. Emmanuel Acho is a clown to me. Point blank period, bro. He is almost everything I do not like with sports media. But it ain't even just that. A lot of his takes. See, one of the things that I like about the media, the sports media nowadays, is because they are so terrible at their jobs, they like to put a lot of their personal feelings and things into this. And Emmanuel Acho, a dude who like to bring up a lot of stories that make no sense or have nothing to do with what the point is, especially when he losing a lot of these arguments and he looks stupid. Emmanuel, I can't even remember the train of thought, bro, because I just got so irritated. Like, bruh, I just cannot wait till he is off of TV, bruh. He is so bad at his job, but he is so confidently bad at his job. And that's what irritates me. I hate it when somebody get up there every day and think they're the best on the set when in actuality they're the worst. What he say, the things like, bro, and back to that point that I was making that I forgot about, how I'm glad analysts are so bad at their jobs and how they blend their personal thoughts and stuff, like a Nick Wright. Nick Wright is so god awful at his job because of how how he can't get his lips off of LeBron James' ass cheeks to save his life. It's like they sawed on there. I mean, like they constructed on there with a saw trap or some shit. Shout out Saw X about to come out. Gotta watch that. But I'm hoping that Saw is back every October like it was when I was in high school, bro. Every October for the next 5 years, I'm expecting Saw to drop. That's what I'm expecting. I want to be in the movie theaters every October for Saw. That's what I want. But back to it. I'm so glad that they can put their personal feelings in it, because that lets me know that I don't like these people as individuals also. I used to say, I just don't like them as an analyst. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like Emmanuel Acho as a human being. And I'm almost certain, I know I wouldn't like Emmanuel Acho, but I'm almost certain I wouldn't like Nick Wright as a human being too. I'm not quite sure yet, but somebody who is such a dick-sucking ass LeBron fan like Nick Wright, I just can't imagine that that's like he can turn that off when he get off the TV. I can't believe it. Like, I saw this man have a problem with Steph Curry's top 5, bro, because it didn't involve LeBron. Like, this dude's penis. I skipped my head. This dude's lips is so attached to LeBron's penis at this point. It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense that you could be so biased that it affect how you. I mean, bro, it's people watching you, bruh, who trying to be educated and learn. It's people out here who don't want to be as biased as they've become, but they have no choice because they listen to you niggas. Forgive me. I'm about to end the show, man, because these motherfuckers really pissing me off, man. You know I'm getting mad now when I'm saying the N-word. Listen, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Emmanuel Acho is atrocious at his job. Shout out to Johnathan Taylor. Y'all have to quit it with this narrative that running backs and all this. You have to start critically thinking about these situations and break it down, bro. I understand if you tell me, the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers might not, well, even though he needed a running game last year. But listen, I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Kick It With Sate. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share. We on that chase to 20 subscribers. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty ran track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.